What is an officer without his trusty sidearm? How does the most intense US state go about arming their officers in a place that not only has citizens to deal with, but also some of the most specialized predators in the animal kingdom? Welcome to Battlefield Weapon Blueprints. We will take a look at the Alaska State Trooper. First up is their service pistol. Now lucky for us, they've stayed with the same sidearm family for their current and previous standard issue. Currently they use the Glock 17 Gen 5 Moss, which is non-Battlefield 6, but their last standard issue is the Glock 22, or the GGH 22, which is a 40 Smith & Wesson variant of the standard Glock 17. With that, we'll essentially be making a sort of hybrid loadout where we use the old gun, but kit it out as if it was the current. So first in the list of attachments is the sight. Now most law enforcement just use standard irons to aim, but with these troopers, they're a little fancier. Their Glocks are currently equipped with the Hollow Sun red dot sights. While no Hollow Sun pistol sights are present in the game, the closest look-wise is the ROX 1.5 times sight. In game, this option does give us a slight zoom compared to the iron sights, but also gives us a clear sight picture for more accurate first shots, while also giving us a faster target acquisition compared to the iron sights. But be careful, as having an ambitious trigger finger might make the recoil obstruct the dot and make your shots less accurate. Next change that we'll make is ammo type. While most law enforcement agencies will use hollow point rounds to prevent over penetrating in large crowds or in hostage situations, the naturally hostile tundra that Alaska is situated in does also require extra protection from wild animals. So for our case, we'll follow suit with the tungsten rounds. While not exactly the plus P ammo, we'll use the added punch to deal with any issues we may find. The only downside we get is that plus P ammo also increases velocity, which our choice doesn't do, but both do add recoil to our shots, which means we also need to regulate our fire rate to keep more shots on target. But the benefit of being able to shoot through a little more cover than FMJ rounds is a benefit that helps us with criminals and large aggressive animals trying their luck with an objective invasion. Another addition that helps us in the north is the flashlight. Being far north means some parts of the state end up with very little to no sunlight for parts of the year. That and very remote places may require you to be out in the wilderness, so to negate any variance here, having a flashlight that doesn't need to be held by your offhand can also give you more control of your firearm while doing the same job. In game, the flashlight does give you the benefit of blinding people up close, which can conceal you in the heat of battle, but from a well-hidden opponent or being in a dimly lit area, this can also give away your position. So be mindful as you can toggle the flashlight on and off, which also does toggle the effects. Lastly, the flashlight takes more time to go to full bloom, while also giving us a smaller max bloom, which isn't as useful for a semi-automatic weapon, but still something nice to have. Next up is the 114mm factory barrel. Sadly, we don't get a lot of options in this category, and as the default option, we don't get the added mobility of the other barrel option. There isn't any downside to using the default option. Lastly, we have the 15 round magazine. While lower than the Glock 17, it is the default option for the 22. Even with the limited amount of ammo at your disposal, you still have enough in your magazine to tackle more than one enemy. An interesting fact of the 40 Smith & Wesson round in-game is that it matches the 9mm damage, but has less damage drop-off, going down to 14.3 damage at 75 meters versus 12.5 damage at the same range with the 9mm, though trying to down anything at that range is not advised. So that's our build, one that is under budget, but being a sidearm, it doesn't give us a lot of room for change. A great complementary build, one that gives us a clean sight on target. Remember that we have to keep in mind that in-game it is supposed to be an emergency complement to your primary weapon if you run out of ammo in your magazine or overall. Though if you're fighting at any distance or head-on, you'll quickly learn that having a sidearm going up against a group of players running full auto weapons, it will put you in a massive disadvantage, and coming out on top in those does require divine intervention. While you could save some budget by removing the red dot sight, that goes against the point of this loadout. You can change the sight to one that is better suited to you. It's the same thing with the ammo type, as the state troopers in Alaska do also have access to hollow point rounds. Optionally, you could also add the improved mag catch. As our build is geared towards the basic trooper, more seasoned ones could have better handling of their weapon, and so you could see it as you being a veteran and having a faster reload from all your training. Going pistols only in Battlefield 6 is not advisable, but it is a great change of pace as you really have to plan your moves carefully, since any fight that the enemies can slap onto you leaves you at a major disadvantage. Having to really think of your placement is a great way to change up your playstyle. It may take some time for you to get used to playing this way, so prepare for a little frustration while you come to terms with playing pistols only. Pick your shots carefully, as any shots will reveal your position both in-world and on the minimap. Anything at point-blank range means you can unleash a blizzard of bullets. At further ranges, you have to moderate your trigger, as the added recoil of your rounds can make follow-up shots miss. But outside of close range, I wouldn't recommend engaging targets unless you have your teammates also shooting them. A more interesting service pistol loadout, one that fits both modern times and a difficult situation. So make sure that you trust your training and send them packing to the Great Bear in the sky. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time for another Weapon Blueprint.